Why did I become a builder? I think more than anything, it was all about creativity and that inner drive inside me to change things.
I love the creativity that comes with building. The fact that you can transform someone's home and transform the way that they perceive living in that home.
I love the craftsmanship. I love watching a tradesman, a true tradesman, really work.
Building's a thing that's been passed down through generation, and we've slowly progressed as builders throughout time. We've built some incredible things in this world that last a testament of time, thousands of years, and can last longer than a piece of art, last longer than anything else in human time. And it's the testament of a single individual that built that, or a generation of people.
The only career that you can do where you can actually physically change something. Hi, tea, please. First thing for a builder, cup of tea. I truly love building. I've always loved building. I've loved it since I was a kid. I was fascinated by it. I want to make it better. I want to make a house better. I want to make a home better. A true builder, someone with passion like myself, is you're looking to create, you're looking to innovate, and you're looking to change things.
It's an art form. Something unlike any other art form in this world that is underappreciated and needs to be appreciated more, like it used to be in the past.
It now needs change. Well, someone needs to lead that change, and we're going to sort of kind of throw in our perspective on how we believe this industry can improve, how we believe this industry can get better, and how we can all benefit from it as builders. We're a small family-run business based in Bournemouth. We specialise in building custom homes. What it doesn't tell you is that we're a father and son business. It's that father and son combination that makes this business work. And it's also great that I can share this vision with my son, and our mission is to try and change the ideals of the build industry and the way it is in the future.
Someone gave us this gift to build. Someone's given us the ability to be smart as humans and to have the technology available to build. That's what we should be testing. We should be pushing the parameters of what we are as builders and pushing the parameters to what we can do with the technology we have available. Iconic Projects was born in 2020. I was 18 at the time, looking to build a better future for my family. 5 years on from now, the experiences I've had through the industry have been quite unique, and I want to showcase now my beliefs as a person running this business. What makes Iconic is our quality. It's one factor, and one factor every building company should put first is quality.
Why does society need builders more than ever? Everything that was built 100 years ago now needs refurbishing, rebuilding. Driving around towns now, we're seeing more empty spaces, more opportunity for redevelopment, more opportunity to repurpose. And I think as a country and as society, this is what we've got to now embrace. You know, everything's getting old now. We've got to start looking after it better, and that's where we come in. As builders, it's going to be on our shoulders to try and make all this happen.
We need more builders, because what people do forget is the fact we have to look after this world and consider the future generations, people my age. What is society going to be in 30, 40 years' time? Is it going to be this future high-tech society? Well, funny enough, if we want to get to that future high-tech society, we're going to have to innovate the thing that's going to get us there, and that is building. And a lot of people forget that or don't see that because it's not their job to. But as a builder, like someone who's passionate for what I do, and I get frustrated at society looking at it in that perspective.
Bournemouth, our hometown, the perfect case study. This is the same as every town in the UK, but we're blessed here with Seaside Resort, 7 miles of Golden Beach, and some beautiful areas around here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this now, and we're going to start to give you like what's wrong with it and our perspective on maybe how we can look at starting to change it to make it better. This is all about making a better society for us all, a cleaner society, and just something we're all more proud of. Our point exactly, really, this is where you would start. Clean, dirty. You can see the difference. There's a massive difference already. There's 100 years worth of grime probably on that building, probably 30 years worth of grime on that building. Still wants cleaning, but look at the difference, the contrast. But you want to show it in natural environment, as they say. So this is Bournemouth Town Centre. This is the square. It used to be a really nice part of Bournemouth, very bustling and very popular. I can see now, obviously, things have changed massively. We've obviously got these bars and things down here to try and bring that vibrancy back. Yeah, it's not the town it used to be, but I don't really believe this is the future to this town, surely. Is this the best we could come up with? This is something we need to consider as part and parcel of all of what's going on now. We can see it's dirty. I think that's the biggest issue, first of all, is dealing with the dirt and the grime that's been allowed to build up over the 150 years. This town has been here 200 years since we built some of this stuff, you know, and how then we can make it better for the future. Look at these areas here. Now, potentially this is beautiful, potentially, because you've got some beautiful palm trees that cost a small fortune. And this is the way we go look at the town. It's like, yeah, we've got growth, and yes, we've got vegetation, but we're smothering it. So we need to clear it and present it better. What do you do? Imagine this in the evening. It's all nice and cleared, lit up. And all of a sudden it gives a whole different perspective to the town. That's what we need to do with our high streets now, is make them more welcome and make them a reason. You know, back in the day when I used to go shopping, it was an event. We used to go downtown for the day. You go down and you have some lunch and you go shopping, you meet some friends. You know, you might go to the cinema, go ice skating. All these things, we had all these options. We haven't got any of that anymore. So it's not like we can bring it back, but we've got to start thinking about how we can take it into the future. See, I like that. Got some nice growth there, still got look at the board. This is the sort of type of stuff we need now in the town centres. Attraction. So Captain Lewis Tregonwell, Dorset Rangers, founder of Bournemouth in 1811. You know, I suppose when you look at this building here, it's an absolute monster, isn't it? 17,000 square feet. You're never going to rent that to anybody as it stands, are you? So maybe we've got to start thinking about how we could repurpose this building to make it more attractive, to attract people down it. Could it be a commercial centre? Could it be offices enabling smaller businesses to be able to set up bar? We've got to start thinking about other things, like how much it costs to actually operate in Bournemouth. We're not adding to Bournemouth, we're not enhancing Bournemouth, and we're not creating something that's going to be a beautiful piece that's going to stand for the test of time. To me, this is a little bit like, we need a hotel, slap something up, that's it, it's done. And that's it, we've got a new hotel in Bournemouth, Hilton Group. I'm sure the Hilton have built some beautiful hotels around the world, and I bet that's not one of them. Hilton Hotel Group, there's a thing now called a jet wash. And what it'll do is it'll clean all that down. The joys of building something high, and this is, I think, sometimes where architects and people that are designing buildings don't think. So, build something that high, how are you going to clean it? Here we have Bournemouth's answer to a jungle. This wants just cleaning out, clearing up, and just making the better. It's got the potential. We've got all the plants are there, but it's being smothered. We need irrigation to get this growth. There's water there, so we can tap into the water there. You can put a nice little irrigation here, nice lighting in here at night. You know, my point is like everything. You know, Bournemouth has this reputation now for becoming unsafe, and we start tidying all this up, start lighting it up. Makes it very uncomfortable for the criminal element. I think a lot of us would look at this and go, this is really nice. And I've probably got to disagree with you slightly, as in, it's nice, we've got all the plants in there, we've got palm trees, we've got beautiful trees that cost an absolute small fortune. But cleaned up, tidied up, lit up, oh my God, how different it will look. Then you can start turning around and going, the Bournemouth Gardens is beautiful again. And it's, you know, what I'm getting at is, when we did this, whatever, 100 years ago, where put a beautiful infrastructure in, lovely flowing water that goes down to the sea, you know, we got all that, but can't see any of it anymore. It's tidying it all up, doesn't it? It's frickin' weeds. Weeds everywhere. Oh, wow. But this is going to deteriorate all the stonework. And this is things we need to start thinking about, is maintaining and stuff so we don't have damage.
I think the first thing, really, yeah, but it is blowing it around. If I just look this way, fuck it. Bournemouth Gardens has the potential to be one of the greatest gardens in the UK. As you walk through it, it should be a showcasing of plants, should be a showcasing of what we have available and what we can grow in this country, and we should be optimising it, really. Like, everything should be pristine, everything should be perfect. This is what the country should stand for. We should be pushing the parameters. We should be the cleanest, tidiest generation. We should be the most forward-thinking generation. We've got all the technology there to do it, but we don't care about it anymore now. We're lazy in that sense with it.
We need to attract people to Bournemouth, and we can attract them because we've got this beach. But that's it, we've got nothing other than the beach. When you have this amount of attraction, and we've seen this, we have hundreds of thousands of people coming here over the weekend. To me, that Bournemouth is that missed opportunity, is because once they finished on the beach, the last thing we want them doing is going back to the car and driving out of the town. We want them going into the town, spending money in local restaurants, spending money, in shops and stuff, and giving an opportunity for local businesses and businesses around the area, smaller businesses, to be able to showcase themselves better in the town and things like this. And it's just thinking about things from a future point of view rather than a patch over, which is, I feel, what we've been doing for many years in Bournemouth.
I love this town. I think it has such great potential. I think looking just down this strip is just a perfect example of what potential it actually has. For someone who's passionate about building, when you walk around Bournemouth town centre, my hometown, knowing the effect we can actually have on it, knowing the fact that how cheaply it actually does cost to employ a group of external cleaners and start cleaning it, is what annoys me, because the council waste that daily on pointless shenanigans that don't really add any value. They have all these maintenance workers, but they don't have the correct guidance.
The high street is not dead, it's just that we haven't got an idea about what we can do with our high streets and how we can start thinking about repurposing things. And I think that's the thing, is to start looking at it objectively, start looking at our future and start looking at what we can offer for the kids of the future, our grandchildren of the future, and so on and so on. Those next generations to come into this town and then turn around and go, wow, there's so much history here. We travel the world to view history, ancient towns and stuff like that, but yet we don't nurture our own ancient towns. And this is an ancient town.
Boscombe, is a great example. It's a rundown town that needs refurbishing and has so much heritage within it that needs to be restored and maintained. And all these buildings are built with such incredible amount of work ethic put into them. They're incredibly detailed. The average person doesn't understand that detail because they don't work with their hands daily or have an appreciation for working with your hands daily like we used to in the past. These old stonemasons that you can see evidently, and it's on another level in comparison to what we can do now. We can barely build new builds properly, so how are we going to build the future? How are we going to restore these buildings if we don't have that skill set there anymore? We lost it because we didn't teach the next generation how to do it.
BCB Council's idea for Boscombe, to regenerate Boscombe for the future of Boscombe, is to take away this car park. Now, this car park is 5 minutes from the beach, that way. Where are we going to put all these cars when we decide to rebuild this with a nice block of flats? All you can ever remember about Boscombe is the heritage of Boscombe, and it's that classic old building. I love this. I love this. I love the arcade. I love the whole idea of this. This is 130, 140 years old. The local authority have a large sum of money, £30 million, to put into the regeneration of Boscombe. So what they've decided to do is kind of ignore that, and they're going to use it for something else. We're going to miss a trick here. That £30 million isn't going to come back once we spend it, and we need to spend it on the right areas. This is where we need to start spending the money first, really, surely, is to repurpose and regenerate what we've already got before we start thinking about new. That's what regeneration's about, isn't it? Look at this as a classic example. This is a heritage building. That is a new set of flats. Now, imagine if this is replaced with that shit. It says it all, because you can build that, not pay any tax on it. You can refurbish this, pay 20%. Doesn't add up, does it? This is a beautiful little seaside town. You've got parking both sides of the high street. You've got a train station 5 minutes away, and we're 5 minutes from the beach. You can imagine coming back off the beach in the afternoon, wandering up the hill, coming into Boscombe, and it being this nice seaside town. It's about taking it forward. And I think this is the problem we have with all local authorities in this country, is that they don't really care. They can't do, because if they cared and they truly wanted to make a change, they wouldn't be doing the things they're doing.
A lot of it's just maintenance and the way we look after things. Yet, the people in control don't have a vision to see how they need to do that.
I've lived in Bournemouth for 40 years. I do want to make a change. And I'm going to stay here for the rest of my life wanting to make that change. So I've not given up on it, and we can't give up on it. And when I walk through Boscombe today, and it's nice to see people, and they're coming up and talking to me about what we've been doing and saying, we like what you're doing, we like the ideas of what you're saying. And it's kind of nice to see that it's not just me, and it's not just Brad, it's everybody in this area wants to see it change. And we're all frustrated with what decisions being made by the local authority. This has been going downhill for the last 40 years since I lived here, and it's just continually going downhill. What is the future of Boscombe if we don't start doing something about it? That's where the regeneration of Boscombe comes from, and that's something we've really got to consider. If we're going to learn how to maintain it, look after it, train the next generation to do it with us, give them the opportunity to be inspired about looking after their own towns and starting to learn how you do that so that we can hand it over to them in the future, because building is an ageing industry, as we know. I'm now the sort of average age. So I need to be thinking about things slightly differently, and I need to be focusing more on my training for the future, because there's not many builders that are willing to pass down the knowledge that they've learned over all these years. And I've proven that it can be done, and it's done very well. And Bournemouth, it could be the largest training program in the country for young people coming into the building industry, learn how to be a landscaper, learning how to maintain Bournemouth, and actually have a worthwhile career for their future. And I think that's really what inspires me more than most, is that building, I've pretty much done it all. Training, yeah, I can account for a few hundred people that work in this industry, but could I inspire the future to do it? Definitely. And Bournemouth is the great case study for that. And this could be the same throughout any town in this country. And that's something we need to think about now. And it can't be based in a college. It has to be based on physical working. They need to understand and get to work with the experience that we've got, that before that experience leaves. As I said, we've got 50% they reckon the building industry is going to be retired in the next 5 years. That's a scary statistic, because how are we going to take into the future? Brad's discussed this. How are we going to innovate? How are we going to move into the future if we're not prepared to put the effort in now? Really, it's down on all of us. I'm one builder. You know, it's down to every single builder in the country to start thinking, wow, I need to pass down what I've learned, and I need to give that experience, because you know and I know that you can't teach that in a classroom, and you can't learn that from a computer. You can learn that through tapping into the resources of the older generation of builders for them to pass down that experience so you can understand, because as the country gets older, we're going to have to refurbish more. We can't knock everything down and build new, so we've got to start looking after what we got. How do we plan on doing that if we're not going to move into the future with the next generation and the next generation and the next generation? I've got so much information, so much experience, that I have to pass that down. I'm lucky I've been able to funnel it into Brad, so Brad can then pass it down from there.
For years we've always slagged off the building industry instead of looking at it as it's a potential gateway for making this whole country better. But like, for me, I'm someone that is educated in building, and I just want to tell my perspective with it, and maybe encourage other people my age to look to get into building, to stand and understand the legacy you leave with building is unlike any other industry in this world.
You know, 300-400, I don't know exactly what the count is, but I know it's a lot of people over the years. I've been doing it since I was 19 years old and helping other people come into this industry. And I want to continue that till the day I die. You know, and at the end of the day, it's because I want to help people, because I want to give people an opportunity to gain a career and a future. And I've seen how it's changed so many young people in their attitude, their confidence, their discipline, you know, and their actual motivation. They want to go to work, they want to earn the money because they want to go out and buy the nice pair of trainers or the nice pair of jeans that they want. They're proud of the toolkit. You know, they want to start collecting the tools. See all that and be part of that change is one of the most rewarding things of building it for me. You know, I've built everything, so I don't get a massive reward off of building anything anymore as such. But training people, seeing people come into this industry and seeing how they grow, and if they leave the industry, they've still got that discipline and that training that they've learnt with us. And that is so valuable for a life lesson and respect. It's all about respect, and that's something we know today we're losing in this country, and something I strive to get back in every trainee or any person that ever works in this industry is, I respect you, you respect me, we're going to get on fine. Here it is, the biggest training program in the country. Let's make use of it, shall we?